Alright folks, welcome back. Mysterious JG here. Turn 2 of Kiev, and we really gotta hope it goes better than turn 1 did. Well, what do you know, the Soviet Air Force. They're here in all of their glory to get whooped up on in a big way, I'm sure. So these guys are really goofed up. They attacked an elite unit, inflicting no damage and getting knocked down to almost half strength. I have to decide who's going to finish off who here. You guys can probably finish them off. Apparently you can't. Alright then, well, I guess that'll keeping them alive for a while isn't really a terrible disaster, because it means I can get more experience later finishing them off. But I really don't. I just instinctively, from fighting against the British, I like to make sure that I wipe out their fighters as soon as I see them. However, in this case, it's probably more valuable to let those weakened fighters stay alive a little bit longer. They can't escape because I've encircled them. Specifically positioned my troops for that reason. And take out those level bombers, which will be a pain in the ass if I don't deal with them. Now this is the battle that had actually been giving me the most trouble, so I want to get back to it as soon as possible. You guys have been having a hell of a time, so why don't you take your frustrations out on this artillery unit. You guys need some experience. Why don't you come up here and, oh jeez, get attacked by the fighters. I forgot about that. But they should be able to finish off this infantry. And I should be able to take out the anti-air guns before they get a turn. If I don't, I'll feel a little silly about this whole thing. But the fact that there's now nothing on the ground between the Wehrmacht and them should make it pretty easy to eliminate them. Don't want these guys to get too roughed up, because they're the ones who have to take Kiev, ultimately. These guys have super experience, so I probably shouldn't have used them. I probably should have used somebody who actually had experience to gain from the fight, but the important thing is to get them out of that airfield and take it over. These guys don't really need experience anymore either. This tank unit might be in need of experience. I kind of left them out of the equation a bit. Yeah, they do. Those guys, not as much. Actually, because of where I put these bombers, they'll probably be attacked by the fighters to little effect. These fighters really can't get anywhere because they'd have to move down a hex and then over, which, yeah, their ability to move has actually been pretty limited. You know what the hell, I'll pull them up all the way. Maybe these guys will come on and attack. That'll be kind of interesting. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this part of it first, because this part builds my confidence, and then I have to go deal with the fact that I'm completely outmatched on closer to Kiev. These tanks are not as good as the other Soviet tanks. The ones that look like this and the ones that look like this are the shitty Soviet tanks. The Soviet tanks you have to worry about are the ones that look like these. Which is why, of course, we're seeing them all clustered around Kiev, where I can't bring my forces to bear against them, really. No. Maybe. That wasn't that effective. I'm like trying to rush because I'm got this idea that I'm not moving fast enough, but that was really stupid. I mean, pulling these transports up to attack is not something I would normally do. Now the tanks, maybe. Okay. I'm seeing this, which must mean this is where my Air Force ended up. Alright, so now my Air Force can start doing whatever it's going to be able to do. What it's going to do, first of all, is kill the Red Air Force dead. Wow, look, there's the Red Air Force right there. The whole frickin' thing. Yak 1 fighters. Yakety yak. Don't fight back. Hoo-hoo! Sing. Nice. Once again, yakety yak, don't fight back. I love it. And so as quickly as I could have hoped, my bombers are going to be there pounding the shit out of Kiev and its defenders. So hopefully, after getting through that first turn of just kind of feeling helpless, things are going to improve now. Pretty sure those things only have a range of 2. Look kind of silly if I turn out to be wrong, since I didn't particularly need to use this hex. Yeah, I've only got a range of 2. And essential experience going to the auxiliary units, but you know, whatever. Now, a nice thing about Allied General is that with your fighters, it will show you on the hex map here when you select a unit, if it's not going to have enough fuel to get to a currently held airfield. Like if moving to this hex would take me out of to the zone of no return as far as getting back to base for refueling, it would be marked in red. Very useful because it's very easy, especially with the fighters, to lose track of that and just, you know, get your ass killed. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay, so I probably should have more tactical. Wow, man, that didn't go nearly as well as they said it would, but still. These guys, I might want to just kill their ammo off. It's only got an ammo of 2 right now. Oh, and they managed to kill one. Not bad. And its ammo is down to 1, which means that if somebody here attacks it, everyone else can just take free shots at it. But that really won't do them a lot of good. Okay, now I could bring these guys in, and probably will just bring them in to attack Kiev itself, because they can't get far enough to do much else. And this is, you know, chipping away at their prestige. The prestige loss that they get for this isn't really that important, in my opinion, but doesn't kill their prestige anywhere near as fast as, say, just eliminating their units. Alright. Tank killers, it's us against them. Critically wounded fighter unit can actually be of some use here. Alright. So my mood's picking up a little bit here as this goes on. How long has this been going on? I continue to pick off these tanks in any way I can, including dive bombers. Dive bombing fighters, I should say. Here's a tactical bomber unit. It's projected to take 4 there. It would be nice to do something about these guys, but it's only going to kill 2 of them, and they're actually not as dangerous or hard to kill for ground forces as these guys are. So let's take advantage of the fact that their air defense seems to be decreased when they're crossing a bridge, and put the hurting on them. Come on, boxcar. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Hey, you got them to retreat. Sadly, there's nobody who can really take advantage of that, unless these guys could kill them by crossing the river, and really it would just hurt them. Oh, you guys haven't moved. I probably would do more damage against one of these units, but I just like to kill these guys off when I've got them vulnerable. Because that means that they would have to buy a replacement for them, and if I don't think they can... Well, no, they've got room to deploy in Kiev, but yeah, they'll probably end up buying infantry. PG Forever's AI is a little bit smarter, but with PG, generally, if you kill the most dangerous units, their AI is going to replace them with just lots and lots of infantry, so... Alright. But it does look like my Air Force got here in time to prevent any kind of like major Soviet advance towards Zhytomyr. Come on. Ah. And these guys have really bad soft attacks, so using an infantry unit to eat up the last of their ammo, like Soviet tactics style, they should now be vulnerable to an attack by a tank. As you remember, they only had 2 ammo. The suppression bomber took care of one of those. All this is doing is giving their artillery something to fire at. Might be able to at least kill one of them, I hope. Yay, and you forced them to retreat too. So, huzzah. Maybe you guys can kill one. It's possible. Yay! So these guys are now completely out of ammo and mostly out of fuel. But they can't have that much fuel to begin with because they kind of suck. Rugged defense! Speaking of kind of sucking. Just keep the Soviets occupied until my guys can get their army group south. That's what you're for. As far as I can make out. Yeah, that's not going to work for me. Maybe these guys can just hide out. Hey, we're going to attack the Russians because we think our salad dressing is better than theirs. Offensive? You bet. Alright, well that's another successful end to a turn, sort of. Kind of. Seems like it went better than the last turn did anyway. Kiev chicken. So let's end the turn and give the Soviets a chance to get up all on our grill. Get all up in our grill, or whatever it is the kids are saying nowadays. Hey, what do? You're no fair, you attack from far away. Do you guys really need to use artillery to kill my tanks? Obviously your tanks can do that quite handily. Hey, what do you do? It's no fair if you attack from so far away. Yeah, see, I can be racist against Germans too. Oh, crap. Didn't expect them to suddenly get smart about this. Good, they get the first shot. Usually anti-tank guns don't get the first attack. When they attack. They almost always do when they defend. So the idea is you have to wheel them into position. Which meant that was like even losses, which is not bad. I mean, anti-tank guns are cheap, but... oh, crap. Soviets are being smarter than I thought they'd be about just, you know, flanking my guys and attacking artillery. Wow, good job. These are some elite Italian tanks. 2 stars worth of experience. They must have fought in Greece. Because they're Italians, they're covered with grease. Oh, I'm sorry. And this will be the end of this unit. Suddenly, all my comments about how there's no threat to Zhytomyr seem a little silly. Soviet paratroops, Soviet anti-aircraft guns. Huh. Alright. Let's see where the air units burst. They did not choose to attack these guys, which means that they are free. Killing tanks is probably the most valuable thing they can do, even if those are like the wimpiest tanks ever. Basically, the more damage they can inflict is where... Well, this will reduce an entrenchment level. Might not be as good for their experience, but... No, what am I thinking about? It's... Wow. Never mind, they did a great job anyway. But it's the, that was going to be taken by, engineers, so the entrenchment level is kind of irrelevant. And the Soviets managed to get a shot off at the same time, which is kind of surprising and kind of annoying. You could probably finish them off. I don't think we really need air support up there. Can't finish them off, but you can hurt them a little. Oh, you can't finish them off. Sorry, I doubted you guys. Oh, cool, now we can see into the city. Okay, just soften up the entrenchment a bit, no big deal. But, you know, kill one if you feel it. If you're feeling it. Meanwhile, this is, of course, where the entire Luftwaffe is swarmed. Don't see any, red Air Force planes that survived. But now I don't remember if anybody did survive, and I'm just not tracking them. And of course there was a Soviet tank that's fled over here somewhere. So I'll need to use one of these guys to find them. Probably should have used you against a tank unit, but I want somebody to come back and find the KV-2 that's hiding over here. There it is. Finish them off. But I'm probably better off doing this. Oh yeah, that feels good. Oh, that feels good. Now you guys still won't have any ammo, which means that you guys can just fly over them to prevent them from re-equipping. That's all that they're doing, really. They're stopping those guys from getting more ammo. Oh. Didn't know about you guys either, somehow. Well, they've been fully suppressed and partially destroyed. But they're still in a position where they could really annoy me by taking one of those cities. Oh, good job, guys. Excuse me. Good job. Now those guys are fully suppressed, which means that hopefully these guys will be able to do something to them. Come on, you've got enough heart attack to do something, don't you? Apparently not. Alright, well, next biggest threat on the map is these guys. So let's get you guys over here. Alright. You guys have one ammo left. They've been completely suppressed, so they're probably not going to be able to. Well, they won't be able to fight back, but I think that also means they're not going to be able to waste that ammo against us. Sadly. I'm not going to do anything with them until I figured out where these artillery are going to end up. Because those artillery could pretty much finish him off. I'm not real careful about what I do with them. Yeah, this is going to be enough to really wear these artillery down. Oh, come on, you're not supposed to be able to do anything against these guys? You're dive bombers, sort of. Tactical bombers, I guess. Yeah, maybe these guys can finish, maybe some of the fighters can finish those guys off, in which case these auxiliary infantry can just back off. They're in a little tiny alcove that can't be hit by either of those air defense units. Please kill one. Yeah, they killed two! Oh, great. They exceeded my expectations. Nice. A lot of guys down here have really high entrenchment that we need to deal with. And some of these fighters really need to refuel before I forget. Yeah, you guys can probably just back off instead of wandering up to the artillery. I could have finished them off with these guys, but possibly not, and I really want to start decreasing these entrenchment levels over here. Now that would bring them in range of the artillery. Darn it. Huzzah. Nice. We can barely do any damage to the artillery that's left out in the open. We can't do any damage at all, apparently. To their credit, I suppose, the Italians invented fascism. But, I think the Germans were better at it by the end of the war. Oh, those are British recon. That's a British recon picture. I call foul. Couldn't be bothered to give the Italians their own. I guess they figured they just look more like the Italian ones apparently looked more like the British ones than they look like the German ones. So. How did they get the first shot? They've got no experience. Now, much good may it do them. But, you fuckers. These guys are still basically beyond my power to do anything about with the units up here. But that doesn't mean I can't push around those artillery guys. Oh wait, you could come in and... No, never mind, somebody already flew and attacked right there. I suppose I could come up here and start helping out. Yeah, it's not really doing any good. Nah, this probably won't do any good either, but soften up those entrenchment levels. So resupply, I guess. And now we've got all this to deal with, which we put off till the end, because it's so much more fun than the really uphill fighting we've got to do at Kiev. Little rinky-dink baby tanks! Yeah, crossing the river into anti-aircraft, anti-tank guns, and artillery, I guess just isn't gonna work. Not much better for you. So now we're positioned to cross on the next turn, I guess. These guys can cross the river and attack the artillery on the next turn. These guys can possibly lure the anti-tank guns into attacking them, which will get them fired on by artillery, which I don't think they can see. And up here, what do we got? There might be artillery here, we can't see. Probably the quickest and easiest way to determine, let's see, any of these air units not moved? No, they've all moved. Oh, good. And they didn't retreat, which means that somebody else can get to a hex and eliminate them completely. Although if they'd retreated, they probably would have been easier to pick off, actually. Ooh, nice. That was deadlier than I really needed it to be. No, there's tanks up here. Okay. You really don't want to be putting your stationary defenders on the river, folks. Don't do it. Relax, don't do it. It's probably a stupid move, actually, because those guys are not going to be forced to retreat. And they inflicted damage. Yeah, that was actually a really dumb move. I was just thinking I could push them back one and somebody else could follow on, but no, that was stupid. Plenty of units better equipped to deal with that. But we're going to take the city of whatever this is. Berezna. And this will probably force them to retreat. Again, why aren't I using tanks to do this? I'm not stopping to think. I'm just too confident in my core units. Think really carefully with the auxiliary units, but the core units I've just gotten overconfident. It's not like they even needed the experience. They're already at like 4 4/4 stars. Alright, so that was pretty good. And unseen artillery. Please don't destroy one of these guys. Oh, they destroyed 3 of them, you bastards. Should have known there was artillery back there somewhere, but I don't know, I just kept kind of hoping. I should have enough turns left over at the end to overstrength some of these guys back up to 15, but there's the artillery. So you can just pop up here and form a bridge later. There's a bomber unit I completely forgot about. And they'll be able to finish off these tanks. You're welcome. Or maybe not. But they'll come darn close. Alright, so that's gonna do it for me. No, shoot, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. So we'll let the Soviets take their turn, and then we'll end it. The video. Okay, so they found some completely unaccompanied bombers, and barely hurt them. It'd be nice if the bombers do more damage than they took. Yeah, equal losses. That's pretty good. Now you're just going to insist on shelling my highly experienced bridging engineers just to piss me off. And you're going to shell my elite tanks that have already took unacceptable losses from you guys before. They're really big on using huge artillery units. Rugged defense! That's right, we were waiting in the trees for your attack. You bastards. Please don't finish these guys off. They're a 5-star unit. This would be really bad news if they get defeated here. Hey, we got the first attack. We're experienced and... oh shit, we're still screwed, aren't we? Hey, we didn't do too bad. The guns, they do nothing. So, I mean, I got the first attack. All I managed to do is suppress 4 of them. These guys are still hosed. Totally wiped out. And now they're going to finish off the artillery guns, which deserve their fate because they were completely unable to support those infantry. So I'm losing units, but things are definitely going better in the south than they were a couple of videos ago. I mean, last video. And we dodged a bullet here. Wow, that would have sucked. That would have sucked in a big way. Probably would have had to just pretend this video never happened and not published it, actually, to lose a 5-star unit like this at this point. Wow. But let's take a look at the map before we end the video. Progress has been pretty slow up in the north. Maybe I am too dependent on the Air Force, but I pulled the entire Luftwaffe, more or less, except for a couple of fighters, down here to help in Kiev. But that has made a big difference. There's like 1 tank left here, 6 guys, and they're out of ammo with only 5 fuel left. So these guys have been more or less eliminated. There was a tank unit up here. Hopefully I will not forget that in the next video. But there's a tank unit that fled up here somewhere. Probably trying to take Boguslav. That's cheap for a second. Yeah, they're up there. So yeah, I don't want to forget about them, but I'm probably not recording any more videos in this particular sit-down, so there's a good chance I will. But yeah, there's like 5 tanks, and then more tanks coming in from the north. We've pretty much dealt with most of the Russian armor. There's still some tanks up here. There might be more tanks hanging around up here. But I think that group around Kiev was the major force of tanks. So with them gone, things should be a little bit safer for us down in the south, and we just really need to make faster progress up here at Konotop. But I have a feeling that this area here is probably not as ruggedly defended as it was down here, because you're probably supposed to come in and then swoop down from the north and finish the campaign by taking Kiev, whereas it looks like we've diverted our whole Air Force, which has really been something we've depended on heavily down here, and as a result, well, Kiev itself is not about to fall. It's got lots of artillery and infantry left, but the big threat of the tanks is gone, and I have a feeling it's going to fall before some of these cities up here do. At any rate, folks, that's it for this video. When we come back, we'll continue pressing against Kiev, mostly just bombing Kiev. I might eventually get to a point where I feel like marching our troops out of Smela and Cherkasy, but I've been pretty content to just let them sit. And the big thing is that we're going to continue to push through east of Chernigov, and on the next turn we'll probably take Konotop, and sort of continue our eastern drive here in the northern section of the map. I don't remember exactly how many turns we've got left, but we've only taken a couple, so we should be good. This is turn 4, I believe. I just saved, so why don't I end and see... yeah, there's like 20-something turns left. We're going to get a major victory here. But anyway, this turn doesn't count because I just wanted to see how many turns we got left. Which means that, yeah, stuff. Anyway, catch you guys later, folks. Bye-bye.